Well, hello everyone. My name is Rohan, and I'm very happy that we've just finished our MBA, and I would be graduating this month and starting off work next month. So it's a very good feeling. I hope that my parents are proud of me as well. So if you talk about my journey, I have around 4.5 years of experience in the sales, business development, basically in the retail and e-commerce sector. So basically, prior to my MBA, I was working in Amazon as a sales specialist in the business development sector back in India in the marketplace division. And prior to that, I was working in Swiggy as a key accounts manager, which is basically India's Deliveroo. So, firstly, in these companies, you have your value proposition is very strong as an employee because you have a very customer driven approach. As in, you have a completely customer driven approach. All the operations are completely B2C driven, and so all the strategies that come from the top, right from the top strategy of a large scale strategy, right to sourcing a discount from a restaurant or a supplier by a small associate. So all these strategies, all these transactional duties are done keeping the end customer in the end of keeping the end customer in mind. So these culmination of all this makes your value proposition very strong because you start thinking about the end customer in whatever you do. And what I needed at that point of time was I needed more guidance to boost my value proposition, and that's exactly what Imperial gave me. So when I started doing my MBA at Imperial, I call these the three pillars. First of all, the first one is the innovation and entrepreneurship sector. Now, obviously, Imperial is the best in this sector. There's so many budding entrepreneurs who've come in my batch only as well, where I've seen that they've come to Imperial so that they can get guidance as to how they can grow their venture, etc. So once I spoke to so many of these budding entrepreneurs, Imperial entrepreneurs, the senior students, and even the alumni. I came to know so much about what they were doing. I won't get in the technicalities, in the details of the technological advancements they were doing, but I figured out they were doing so much only to impact the lives of the people. They all wanted to impact the lives of the people, and we know this, right? Innovation and entrepreneurship eventually is whatever innovation and entrepreneurship is coming, whatever innovation disruption is coming, it is eventually providing more and more convenience to the people. That is how the companies form their USPs going forward. So I was very impressed by this. Then the second thing is climate change and sustainability, that sector. Imperial has an entire institute called Grant Home Institute, which also impacted my thinking a lot. So the thing is that how it impacted my thinking. I met quite a few professors, quite a few people from there. How it impacted my thinking was that I saw that what is climate change? Climate change is that just that they are trying to protect the planet. They are trying to provide a better life to their children and their children's children, etc., the future generation. So I was like, they are all thinking about something which is bigger than themselves. That is, the thing which I needed to be impacted by. And the third thing, obviously, is the Imperial alumni group, the peer-to-peer network, so many students, etc., who are not associated with this as well, but have done something, to impact the lives of the people, maybe in the past, or or plan to do it in the future. So this is a culmination of all this was something which boosted my value proposition a lot because even I started thinking. Firstly, I used to measure success quite a lot by the amount of money that I was getting, by the amount of rupees, which is the Indian currency that I was making. But now I've turned my tide towards now I would measure success by, for example, the amount of lives or the number of lives in this case that I'm impacting, the number of smiles that I'm bringing to people's faces. For example, when I was back in my undergrad, I worked on a project. I built a car which had a recliner seat. So basically, people who had spinal problems or back problems could drive it and use it for their fitness regime and commutation. And I still remember that smile which a senior person at VIT had used. A senior person at VIT VIT is my undergrad college. A senior person at VIT had driven that vehicle, and that smile in my face, I still remember that smile in my face. The happiness that I had got, the pride that I had felt at that point of time. So basically, the biggest change which Imperial MBA has gotten me is that I've started tracking success as the number of lives that I can impact, and not as just the amount of money that I can get. And that is also why I deserve, why I think that I've become a better leader in the I've become a better leader in the future. And secondly, this does not have to be constrained only to the professional space. Even outside, you can work as you can be and you can work in an NGO, you can volunteer for different activities. Basically, whatever you do, you should impact more and more lives, and you should help people in any way that you can. And I thank Imperial for instilling this value in me, and this value will always stay in me, and I would continue impacting more and more lives and bringing more and more smiles. Thank you.